Dear viewers, welcome to Deloar live broadcast from West Babylon, New York virtual studio. This is your host Deloar Khan, Realtor with Exit Family Realty, and I have with me today Shintia Manzanares, Realtor with Exit Family Realty for the Spanish version. You are watching today's show live on Facebook, YouTube, and in our presentation today, you will see the slides in English. It's gonna come first, and after that is slide is in Spanish will come, and Cynthia will be helping for those. Thank you, Cynthia, for joining with me today. I'm really appreciating for that. So, dear audience, so we're excited for everybody who's joining with us today. And let's talk about what is happening in the housing market today. So, first of all, I'm gonna be starting with a quote from Ivy Zillman, CEO and Zillman Associates. What she's saying over here, will fare, housing will fare. So what she's saying over here, housing will fare better than expected during the severe downturn. So if you were to start up today, I would say that we look at the experts and we're seeing them say, okay, as the economy starts to improve, and we have talked about this, and improving is the second half of this year. Housing faring better than maybe other industries during this downturn.
Buenas tardes a todos, así como nos está explicando Deloar, según Ivy Zillman, a la vivienda le irá mejor de lo esperado durante esta desaceleración severa.
And to take that a step forward, I want to bring in some information to start here with Dana Click, a quote from Dana Click, which what she's saying over here, new home sales rose slightly in April, defying the expectation of a huge 22% drop. So the news is here, there was a slight improvement, but more than that, there was an expectation of 22% in April. And now we're looking at the information in the rearview mirror, we can see that home sales actually rose.
Las ventas de las casas nuevas aumentaron ligeramente en abril, desafiando todas las expectativas de una caída enorme del 22%.
And I'm not saying that we're where you had been if you don't have the health crisis in this country, but certainly we have. In this example, where there is an expectation of the decrease, new home sales actually rose. So she goes on to say, mortgage demand from home buyers shows unexpectedly strong and quick recovery. And the quick recovery has surprised most of the forecasters. So, 2 or 3 months ago, that our business was dead. And we're starting to see that they came back. And so I'm excited to share this information with you guys.
La demanda hipotecaria de los compradores de vivienda muestra una recuperación inesperadamente fuerte y rápida. La recuperación rápida ha sorprendido a la mayoría de los pronosticadores.
So we can see this slide that to carry it even a step further, Marcus Fleming says, we know that April really was a tough throw. I think for the housing market, and we don't expect the rebound to be quite strong in the May numbers that will come out at the end of June. That is a very strong statement.
Según Mark Fleming, sabemos que abril realmente era el punto de inflexión, creo, para el mercado de la vivienda. Esperamos que el rebote sea bastante fuerte en los números de mayo, que saldrán a finales de junio.
Now, you can see from this graph. So right now, we want to look at the leading indicators. We want to really say, okay, what's going to do with the pricing? And we have our first look at the projected home price appreciation. And I want to bring that is here that what we can see is 6 leading experts that project appreciation. And here this year, you can see 5 of the 6 experts are calling for appreciation this year. 3 of those 5 are calling for appreciation over 3%. And we go into the next year in 2021, we can see that all six are forecasting appreciations. And even some going into 2022 forecasting the appreciation. So what is happening? Really, the story is right now in pricing is the appreciation is being driven by the lack of the supply across the country. And across the country right now, we have a little more than 4 months of inventory on the market, available homes for the number of people that want to buy them. Literally an undersupply of homes on the market.
Se prevé que los precios de las viviendas continúen apreciando. A lo que se puede ver en esta gráfica, se puede ver a 6 expertos líderes que proyectan la apreciación de las casas. Incluso 3 de ellos lo proyectan hasta el 2022. Lo proyectan a un 3%, y a medida que va avanzando el año, en el 2021 podemos ver que 6 prevén una apreciación de los precios. Incluso algunos predicen la apreciación de los precios para el 2022, como lo dije anteriormente.
And now I'm going to show you the Zillow's June report. We know from Zillow's June report that month over month, the newly pending sales are 24% for 24% up, and the new listing taken are up 19.3%. So we're not where we would be normally this year, but month over month we are seeing improvement, and that is a great news. And what they're saying that both pending sales and the new listing remain well off from the previous month, when the market was bouncing back from the slowdown in the early days of the coronavirus pandemic.
Según Zillow, según los estudios que ellos hicieron y que hacen mes tras mes, las ventas pendientes aumentaron en un 24.5%, y las casas recién puestas a la venta subieron en un 19.3%. Tanto las ventas pendientes como las nuevas ventas siguen muy por encima del mes anterior, obviamente por todo lo que está pasando con la pandemia, cuando el mercado se estaba recuperando de una desaceleración en los primeros días de la pandemia del coronavirus.
Okay, so let's talk about the unemployment right now. The Bureau of Labor Statistics on Friday, June 5th, released their June report, and which covers, until the middle of the May actually. And the biggest shock on that was the gains. There was actually the gain in the numbers of jobs. Most people had projected the other way. Well, we could see in most of the categories, there were actually job gains equally to up to 2.5 million jobs. And from the graphs, what we can see over here, the food service, construction, education, health service, retail, other services, manufacturing, and professional service, everything goes up in that. And what about the red one? If you see in the red one is others, all others is actually like a mining and other industries is actually, they were originally losing the jobs anyway. That is not because of the pandemic, and hotel definitely is affecting. And the government job is, most of them are temporary laid off. So we can see from here, it's a very good, strong report from the labor statistics.
Hubo un incremento en la cantidad o en el número de trabajos. Según los expertos, la economía ganó 2.5 millones de puestos de trabajos. Como les dije, hubo un incremento, y ya habíamos hablado anteriormente que creíamos firmemente que el servicio de la comida y restaurantes, una vez que comenzaran a abrir, se iban a volver a levantar. Incluso con el distanciamiento social, muchos gobiernos sociales están tratando de ayudar a los restaurantes como sea posible. También la construcción ha incrementado en trabajos.
Okay, so what we see over here, as a matter of fact, CNBC said that the May gain was by far the biggest 1-month job surge in US history since at least 1939. That is a very good symptom.
CNBC dice que la ganancia de mayo fue por mucho el mayor aumento de empleos de un mes en la historia de los Estados Unidos desde al menos 1939.
Okay, so from this graph, we can see that it means 87.7% of the people still has a job, have a job. I think we have spent too much time thinking that everyone is unemployed. That's not true. And I'm not saying that there is one family, has a challenge, but if there are billions of families unemployment, that's the dramatic challenge. I'm not dismissing the 13.3%. What I'm saying is over here, let's not get so caught up in that they don't realize that the vast majority of Americans still do have their jobs. And those people that are unemployment, 17% think it's permanent. Only 17%. And 73% think that the economy opens up, they are going to go right back to the same jobs they had.
Según el diagnóstico de la Oficina de Estadísticas Laborales de Estados Unidos, dicen que aún el 87.7% todavía están empleados y solamente el 13.3% están desempleados. También dicen que el 83% de las personas no estaban seguras si realmente estaban desempleados. Hubo un cierto error ahí, pero realmente solo el 83% está desempleado temporalmente y el 17% es la única cantidad de personas que perdieron su empleo.
Okay, so and the report from the Federal Reserve Bank said that 75% of the job losses are temporary laid off and furloughs according to the employers. So the employees think 73% of the employees think it's temporary. And the employees think that the people they laid off, 75% are coming back. 3 out of 4 are coming back actually. So also there are news reports on the large-scale hiring at firms like Amazon, Walmart, CVS, Healthcare, and Domino's Pizza and other companies that saw increased demand in the reaction of the pandemic and partial shutdown.
Más o menos el 75% de la pérdida de puestos de trabajo son despidos temporales y permisos según los empleadores. Hay un informe de noticias de contratación a gran escala de empresas como de Amazon, Walmart, Cuidado de la Salud de CVS, Domino's Pizza y unas empresas que vieron una mayor demanda en reacción a la pandemia y al cierre parcial.
And another good news is I can tell you that Amazon, which was about 1.7 million people, are hiring, and drivers, warehouse workers, management staffs to handle that. And they have already said that about 150 of those hiring are going to be a permanent position, not temporary positions. So, job market is looking really, really much, much better than we expected. So actually, what is happening? Some have said that there was a miscalculation of the job in the last report. So I would offer that there was a misclassification of the job. Some of the people who should have been classified as a temporary unemployment during the shutdown were instead misclassified as employed, but absent for the other reason. So what they're saying that other reasons is like people taking a leave to go on vacation, serve on in jury duty, and take care of the child relative, etc.
Entonces hubo un error de cálculo y la explicación del error de cálculo es la siguiente. Algunas de las personas que deberían haber sido clasificadas como temporalmente desempleadas durante el cierre fueron clasificadas erróneamente como empleadas, pero ausentes por otras razones. Otras razones son generalmente personas que toman una licencia para ir de vacaciones, servir como jurado o cuidar de un niño o pariente.
So from this graph, we can see that the employment rate is actually improved through January to May, and there was a correction on the system. Still, there is a up. So this is a very strong statement.
La tasa de desempleo mejora incluso con la corrección. La gráfica azul muestra de enero a mayo en el informe de desempleo como se ha informado. En marzo teníamos un desempleo de 4.4%. En abril fue un 14.7%. Luego vimos esta disminución en mayo del 13.3%. Y si vamos a decir que hubo un error de clasificación, tendríamos que regresar a marzo. Luego agregar lo que representa clasificación errónea. Se puede ver ahí en naranja. Hubiera aumentado ligeramente la tasa de desempleo cada mes, pero la gran noticia aquí es que en cualquier forma que lo mire, el desempleo cayó en el mes de mayo porque se agregaron más empleos.
Okay, so Wall Street Journal already reported that employers added 2.5 million jobs. That's blowing Wall Street Journal expectation out of the water. Economists hold forecast a loss of 8.3 million jobs.
Según el Journal de Wall Street, la tasa de desempleo en los Estados Unidos en mayo cayó al 13.3% y los empleadores agregaron 2.5 millones de empleos, poniendo entredicho las expectativas de Wall Street. Los economistas habían pronosticado una pérdida de 8.3 millones de puestos de trabajo.
So what is happening over here? Economists had forecasted the loss of the 8.3 million jobs before, but in the May report came in, there was a less loss than expected and added 2.5 million jobs. Again, that's not in a question. The actual rate is in questions. And so as of today, Bureau of Labor of Statistics Department up to the May, they did not change that. So you're going to see more advanced report in the next, when you represent that next July report, you're going to see that. So now, you know that as you move forward, we know that we are here in June in monthly market report, and June is a National Home Ownership Month. And you know all the reasons that we know that I would say that we all got in the business to help people achieve the dream of home ownership, and we want to give you some information to talk about in that and cover some of the data related to that. And so the census came out with the first quarter results this year showing that the US home ownership rate continued to grow.
Estamos en el mes nacional de ser propietarios de casa. Junio se declaró como este mes. Yo diría que todos nos metimos en este negocio para ayudar a las personas a alcanzar el sueño de ser propietarios de su casa. Queremos brindarles información para hablar al respecto y cubrir algunos datos relativos a esto. Y salió el censo con resultados del primer trimestre de este año y muestra que la tasa de propietarios de vivienda en los Estados Unidos continúa creciendo.
So from this data, we can see that the home ownership rate actually was going up until we know the housing crash happens. And then we saw the decrease. And you can see that there was a rate, there is a rate line, and then it's increased for the last 4 years of homeownership growing. And you know, celebrating all the reasons is that homeownership is what National Homeownership Month is all about. You know, really looking at, you know, homeownership being a reflection of accomplishments of your effort and success. So it is still growing.
El porcentaje de la tasa de propiedad de vivienda en Estados Unidos se había visto que estaba disminuyendo, pero ya tiene varios años en los que ha incrementado del 63.5% al 65.3%.
Okay, so, and certainly there are a lot of people coming out of this time period, and we are in that maybe saying, hey, I want something different in a home. We want to downsize. We need more space. We have different needs that we did not consider important. So, you know, 30, 60, 90 days ago, we have been gone through this. And lastly, National Home Ownership Month. I think we know all this now. We talk about this a lot. The financial investment and the growing asset value and wealth literally for individuals and families all across this country, and the value that homeownership brings to that. So there is different way, different reason people do the home ownership.
La propiedad de la vivienda es un reflejo de los logros de su esfuerzo y éxito, según lo dicen las personas. Ellos dicen que les brinda estabilidad, control de su futuro y dirección. También les brinda una capacidad de expresarse personalmente a través de lo que se hace en su hogar y las cosas que crean y tienen ahí. Y en última instancia, ellos dicen que les dan privacidad, creando un espacio que es exclusivamente para ellos.
So, from the survey concentrics analysis survey, we see that it talks about non-financial benefit of the home ownership. So, which I would argue that we need to remind people of that. In this study, when I see it, it makes me happy to know that 93% said owning a home made them happier. 88% of the people studied here said buying a home was the best decision they have ever made. And 79% said, owning a home has changed them for the better.
Según la encuesta de Concentrics Analytics, habla sobre los beneficios no financieros de ser propietarios de vivienda, lo cual diría que debemos recordarle a la gente. En el estudio, cuando lo veo, me alegra saber que el 93% dijo que ser dueño de una casa los hacía más felices. El 88% de las personas estudiadas aquí dijeron que comprar una casa fue la mejor decisión que han tomado y el 79% dijo que ser dueño de una casa los ha cambiado para mejor.
Okay, and so while we talk about a lot, the financial benefit and are familiar with those and the ability to build wealth and the tax savings. So, the ability to refinance your mortgage right now to save money. And there are financial benefits, but also keeping in mind the non-financial benefit is critically important as we go through the June National Homeownership Month. And most recently, Gallup released their survey of the best long-term investment, and they said that real estate at 35% remains the most favored investment in Americans, as has been the case since 2013, when the housing market was on the rebound. More than a third of the Americans have named real estate as the top investment since 2016.
Si bien es cierto que hay beneficios financieros, pero también tener en cuenta que los beneficios no financieros son de vital importancia a medida que avanzamos en el Mes Nacional de la Propiedad de la Vivienda. Y más recientemente, Gallup lanzó su encuesta sobre las mejores inversiones a largo plazo. Y dicen aquí, bienes raíces con un 35% sigue siendo la inversión más favorecida por los estadounidenses, como ha sido el caso desde el 2013, cuando el mercado de la vivienda estaba en repunte. Más de un tercio de los estadounidenses han nombrado bienes raíces como la inversión principal desde el 2016.
So, from this slides, we can see that it's showing America's top 4 choices. And you can see here, real estate far surpasses stocks, saving accounts, and gold. And if we even look at this as, what does that look like over time? This is a great picture here where we see, going into this year and stock lost, some favorability among people. And we know the reason is for that. And as far as investments, we also know that the housing market remains a strong choice for the long-term investment. And so our jobs today is to get the information out and remind people why folks buy homes more than any time. So that's why we're saying over here, this is our job to give you the right market studies, right scenario, what is happening in the market, so you know what is going on.
Las 4 opciones mejores de los estadounidenses de la mejor inversión a largo plazo, se puede ver que con el 35% es son bienes raíces. Les siguen las acciones con el 21%, después las cuentas de ahorro con el 17% y oro con un 16%, lo que demuestra que la mejor inversión para hacer a largo plazo son los bienes raíces.
Okay, so from this graph, you can see that the same thing as it was in the other picture. In this figure, we can see housing market is real estate is always on the top. So no matter whatever, there's so many years is on the top and is contributing as a big factor in the market.
Las cuatro opciones mejores de los estadounidenses de la mejor inversión a largo plazo se muestra en esta gráfica. Es muy similar a la anterior, solo nos está mostrando desde el año 2011 hasta el año 2020 cómo los bienes raíces han ido incrementando, comparado con las acciones, las cuentas de ahorro y el oro.
Okay, so I want to bring, folks, I want to bring a quick quote from Peter Ken. He is a former editor of the Wall Street Journal, and he says that truth is attainable by laying fact upon fact. And through the monthly market report, we want to give you guys those facts so that you can deliver the facts out into the market. So, be a voice. Our job is to be a voice of for what is happening in the country relative to the housing market growth as the economy start to rebound. So as a realtor, our job is to give you those information and give you the right scenario, what is happening. And we are trying our best to do that.
En esta cita de Peter Kahn, que es ex editor de Wall Street Journal, dice que la verdad es alcanzable al poner hecho sobre hecho. Y es lo que nosotros queremos brindarles a ustedes a través de este informe de mercado sobre bienes raíces, darles toda la información que necesitan para que se den cuenta lo que está sucediendo en el país y el crecimiento que están teniendo los bienes raíces.
Okay, so most of the expert is saying that the US economy will not recover until housing recovers, and that is absolutely true. So we have a big like a job here as a realtor. That's the economic impact that we have in our industry through one home sold. And like a $88,000, just over $88,000 in the economic impact if you sell one home. So it's a big impact in the economy when we sell or anybody sell a house or anybody invest in the house for buying in the process. So it's a big impact in the economy for one transactions.
El impacto económico promedio de la venta de una casa en Estados Unidos es de más de $88,000. Por cada casa vendida, esa es la ganancia que tiene el país. El impacto económico de una casa nueva vendida, como les dije, puede ser de más de $88,000 y aquí pueden ver los números. Una casa existente es aproximadamente la mitad de eso y tiene $45,000 aproximadamente en impacto económico. Y eso es lo que sucede cada vez que alguien toma la decisión de comprar una casa. Estimula el crecimiento económico de las ciudades y del estado en que viven y las áreas en que vivimos en todo el país.
Okay, so you can see from this nationwide the impact of one home sale by the state. So you can see that 88K is the average of the impact of the one house sale. So you can see that state-wise the graphs over here, and that can give you the idea what is the impact of a house selling and contributing to the economy.
Este mapa también muestra el impacto económico promedio de la venta de una casa por estado, así que muestra cada estado y muestra la cantidad que cada estado ganaría al vender o comprar una casa.
Okay, so dear folks, dear viewers, we are almost at the end of the presentation today, and we tried our best to collect all the information, whatever we have in the market research, and do our best to do that. And doing that, we try to do our best to give you that all the information, whatever is in the market, and for the June report. But that report is not up to date. Just so you know, that is not up to date until today. But that is up to the May 15 or 16. So After that, if any more changes or anything comes in the market, you're going to see in the July report. And also, for your convenience, you might have a questions about the home buying or selling. We made a excellent guide for you, summer 2020 buyer and seller guide. If anybody wants a copy of that for free, you can put in the chat box your email address, and we can send that to you for free. So please feel free to just add your email and ask if you need a seller guide or buyer guide, and we have that one for you completely free, out of cost.
También tenemos las guías para los compradores y vendedores del verano 2020. Aquí pueden encontrar toda la información que necesiten y las pueden obtener enviándonos un correo. Mi correo es homespycynthia@gmail.com y Deloar les va a dar el de él también. Están en español y en inglés y cualquier pregunta que tengan las pueden encontrar ahí.
So that's all we have for today. Thank you, Cynthia, for your help, and it was a great help. And we'll be coming back next month with a new report, brand new report. Until now, this is a Deloar, a realtor with Exit Family Realty, and that is Cynthia. So we are saying goodbye for now. See you in the next month.
Thank you, Deloar.
Thank you for having, and thank you for watching today.